had the comeback of the year in the American Association last night. This is something that you have to see to believe. I'm Carter Woodiel. It's time for our daily whip around. We're going to Gary, the Milkmen taking on the Railcats. And why don't we start things off with a home run robbery? Look at Nate Scantlin, the center fielder for Gary Southshore. Watch it again, just picking that one right up at a date with the bullpen. And Gary Southshore had a great first inning overall. The Railcats poured on 8 runs, half of them on that swing from Sherman Graves, a grand slam. Later on, Daniel Lingwa with a 2-run homer. Gary Southshore would lead 10-1 after 2 and 10-3 going into the 9th. And that's when things changed. Keon Barnum at the plate for Milwaukee here. That's a 2-run single. Brian Torres and Logan Trowbridge would score. That would make it 10-7 Gary Southshore. Next batter, Miguel Gomez. That's an RBI double. Kendra would come around to score. And when he does, it would make it 10-8 Gary Southshore. Then 3 straight walks, 2 of them with the bases loaded. And all of a sudden, we got a tie game. It's 10-10. And the coup de grace, a 2-run single from Jeremiah Burks on the 10th pitch of his at-bat. The Milkmen come all the way back to win 12-10, an unforgettable game at the Steelyard. Kane County taking on Cleburne. This game wasn't too bad either. We picked things up in the 7th. Ernie Dale at Trinidad with a go-ahead 2-run single. Nick Anderson and Luke Mangieri coming to score. The Cougars would lead 4-2 at the 7th inning stretch. Bottom 7, though, Zach Narrier, one of 2 home runs that the Railroader Star had in this game. He's up to 16 bombs on the year, 66 RBIs. That tied the game up at 4. In the 8th inning, check out the defense from Edwin Arroyo for Cleburne, laying out for the diving stop, gets to his feet, recovers, and gets the out. And we'd have to go all the way to the 10th inning to decide this game when Jimmy Kerrigan delivered an RBI single. Ryan Tapany, a pitcher, he was in as the runner on second, comes in with the go-ahead run, and the Cougars win it 5-4. Kansas City got a big W last night, and Matt Hall was doing Matt Hall things. He goes 7 shutout innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, and 10 strikeouts. Lowers his ERA to 0.97. He would get the win. He's been unbelievable this season. And offensively, how about a grand slam to support your ace pitcher? Jacob Robson with his 2nd home run of the season. The Monarchs beat the Salt Dogs 7-0. Fargo-Moorhead taking on Chicago. Let's start with some defensive Miz highlights. Charlie Tilson coming on in center field and making the diving catch for Chicago. That's a great play, but Peter Maris would strike again for Fargo-Moorhead. This is another homer, his 3rd in 4 games, 17th of the season, and the Redhawks would have a 3-2 lead into the 7th inning. That's when Grant Kay stepped up to the dish for Chicago and tied things up with a 2-run double here. Tilson and Harrison Smith would come in to score, and it's 4-4. The Dogs trying to snap an 8-game losing streak in this one, but John Silviano says, no thanks. That is an opposite field, go-ahead 2-run homer, his 16th of the season, and the Redhawks get the sweep, 6-4, the final score from Newman Outdoor Field. Sioux City victorious last night as well. Zach Hedges was on point for the Explorers. 6 innings, gives up 2 runs. Neither one of those runs was earned, strikes out 6, and wound up getting the win in this triumph north of the border against Winnipeg. Later on, look at the defense. Blake Taveri with an impressive diving catch at second base. He's been great all year for Sioux City, and Gabe Snyder stayed hot at the dish. His 3rd home run of a 3-game series. The X's top Winnipeg 4-2. They move into a playoff spot. And Lake Country won at the Birdcage again yesterday. The Dock Hounds topping Sioux Falls. Jake Snyder with a no-doubt 2-run homer here. That one absolutely crushed. It would hold up as the game-winning hit. Lake Country won the ball game 6-4. Here's everything in the American Association yesterday. We had some fun ones. That tight game in Cleburne and the instant classic in Gary. That was an absolutely bonkers game for the Milkmen, and it has an impact on the standings. Out east, Chicago's lead has shrunk to 3.5 games with the Cougars' victory. Milwaukee also getting a little bit closer to the Dogs. Gary, Southshore, and Cleburne both lost, so they remain a game and a half apart from one another as they go after the final playoff spot in the East. As for the West Division, Fargo-Moorhead's lead remains 3 games over Kansas City. Winnipeg drops a game after losing to the Explorers, and Sioux City, with their win over Winnipeg, are now a game ahead of Lincoln. They were tied with the Salt Dogs, are now a game ahead of Lincoln, 2 in the loss column actually over the Lincoln Salt Dogs as they try to get that last playoff spot in the West Division. Tonight in the American Association, 2 games to tell you about. Milkmen hosting the Dock Hounds from Franklin Field, and the Redhawks hosting the Canaries at Newman Outdoor Field, trying to extend their lead at the top of the West and trying to get that chance to pick who they play in the postseason. That's what the number 1 seed will get. And remember, you can watch every game all season long and every playoff game all September long at aabaseball.tv. I'm Carter Woodiel for the American Association, where we play to win.